Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Gator Insider, presented by Talon Wealth. With Gators Insider Chris Harry, I'm Sean Kelley. The Florida Gators ranked 14th according to the AP poll, now have a record of 18-6, 9-2 in SEC play. They are all alone in first place. The winning streak is at 4 games, and the road SEC win streak now has reached 5 for the first time under head coach Todd Golden. Chris, the good times continue here for the Gators. They were rolling the last time we met on this set. They continued their ways on the road with wins at Texas A&M and then most recently against arch rival Georgia.
I mean, not wins. These are kneecappings. To go into Texas A&M, which, we were there for that, for the Ruckus Arena at Reed, and to perform like they did, just get out of the box with a fast start, unleash that defense on the Aggies. Remember, it was the Aggies who are supposed to cause all kinds of problems with the way they press with buckyball and everything. And then to go to Georgia and jump on them 10-0. These are tone-setting moments for this basketball team. And again, it all starts with the defensive side of the basketball.
The defensive side of the basketball. And again, we'll flash some offensive numbers too. But in the 4-game winning streak right now for the Gators, they've outscored their opponent by a total combined 109 points. That's 27.3 points per ball game average margin of victory. Offense in a moment. Let's get to the defense. These are, for the Gators, some historic performances defensively.
Yeah, and I circled this on the way home. Opponents are shooting 30.1% on their home floor in the last 3 games that the Gators have played defensively. That is stifling defense, and it starts in the middle with Ruben Chinyelu and starts spanning out.
Texas A&M began the game shooting 1 for 27. They missed 23 shots.
Have you ever seen a game like that?
I have not.
You've seen a lot of basketball. We've both seen a lot of basketball. Have you ever seen a game like that before?
Never. And part of it was, wow, what a cold night for the Aggies.
Correct.
And then you start to look at the entire body of work, and you have to throw Gators defense in there too.
Well, of course you do. And they're getting shots. But, they're getting contested shots, and the closer they get to the rim, the more contested they are with Florida's length and size and side. And it's funny you mentioned that. They did start 1 for 23 or 1 for 27, whatever it was. And at one time it was 13-5. I mean, even after that long dry spell, and this team is really, really poised, and they show that poise on the road. They just kind of stiffened up, and the game was never even close. They built that lead up to 20, 25, whatever it was in the first half, and just held on and just kind of grabbed these teams by the throat and stepped on them. And that's a characteristic of a team that has a chance to win championships.
And in the most recent performance, the Gators got out to a 10-0 lead on the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia would get no closer than 9 at any point in the ball game. There's also that ability to play out in front and stay out in front.
Play out in front and stay out in front. It's a lot of teams get out in front and they think, okay, we just got to hold the lead. Again, Florida is staying aggressive in the half court. And again, it's different people. Look at last night. Thomas Houck I think he was 0 for 5 in the first half from the floor. But Xavier Lee picked up. Isaiah Brown, fantastic off the bench on the way he made 3 threes last night. But Xavier Lee, season high 3 threes. He had 18 points, 7 assists, 0 turnovers, 3 steals in 32 minutes. His best game as a Gator, I think.
Let's talk about some individual performances. You touched on Xavier Lee. The other one here is Boogie Fland, by the way, who has 12 steals in this 4-game winning streak, and that is alongside 18 assists.
Right.
He's playing phenomenally and handling the basketball against a variety of different looks.
And I'm not sure he had an assist last night. But still, the way the offense, he's getting the offense organized. Transition was fantastic. I think he scored 6 points in that 10-0 run to start the game on the road. He's so comfortable in what they're doing right now. He and Xavier Lee are getting kind of a wingman kind of thing working. And we can talk about the backcourt and the collective shooting and the 3-point line, but honestly, they're not taking a lot of 3-point shots. And when they miss 3-point shots, they're getting half of them back. And, in the big picture, it's the defense that's really leading this team right now.
And then there's the bench, too. Chris mentioned Isaiah Brown and the way that he played, just taking the one sample size of the Georgia game. He's put together now a stretch where he scored in all but one of his last 14 performances off the bench. And if we go back to the winning streak numbers here, these last 4 games, Urban Klavjar is 13 of 25 from 3-point. That's 52%.
And then we sit here and we're talking about how the Florida missing the 3-point shooting in the starting lineup. Well, you hear some fans clamoring, why isn't Urban Klavjar starting? Well, it's good to have that trigger man come off the bench and give you that kind of spark, because it's getting to the point now, Sean, that you think he's making every shot. You're surprised when he misses one. It looks so good coming off his hand. They're finding him in transition. He's seeking his shot, but he's not seeking. He's not hunting per se, where he's just trying to get off a three. He's taking really good, clean shots. Gators crash the glass. If they miss, they get it back.
18 wins now, 15 of those by 13 or more points if we're looking at the entire season. But now we're going to really zero in on these final games down the stretch. The cynic in me, Chris, can't help but think that the Gators have 0 wins when down by double figures. And they've only been in a couple of tight games. Most of them they've lost. I don't know. Maybe I need to get past my cynicism here, or my pessimism is probably the better word, and just enjoy the Gators actually just trucking people.
Well, yes, let's enjoy that, but maybe that's something they need to do. And, we'll find out, because there are going to be close games down the stretch. Okay, what is it? We got 8 more SEC games, starting with a very big one Saturday, and that could be one of the close ones also.
That game on Saturday, again, will be another battle for first place. Here's Kentucky. Mark Pope was almost ready to be run out of Lexington, Kentucky earlier this year, and now they've won 8 of their last 9, and they sit a game back of the Gators for a 3 o'clock tip-off on Saturday.
And we're going to say hello to an old friend, a 3 o'clock tip-off on Saturday. Denzel Aberdeen will come in, and this is kind of a personal kind of thing with me. I think that the fans should cheer Denzel when he's introduced and root against him for the balance of the game. Denzel Aberdeen was a great Florida Gator who won a championship here. I don't think Florida wins it without him. He is a Kentucky Wildcat. I get that now, but he is playing great. He's one of the ones. They started 0-2 in the league. He kind of settled them in with a couple with some real good games early on in the conference season, and was able to kind of redirect them. And, he's on the ball right now. Probably that championship pedigree a little bit got him going.
It'll be interesting. With Aberdeen coming back, it'll be the first time that the championship team has been all together since the White House.
How about that?
Walter Clayton Jr. and Will Richard will be back in Gainesville for the game this weekend, so that whole group basically will be intact for the first time again since last summer.
Florida has not beaten Kentucky in the O-Dome since 2017. So there's another thing that maybe we can block off on our list here.
I did not realize that.
Yes.
And
they've won 3 in Lexington since.
That's insane.
Yes.
But it leads us into maybe the final topic here. Coming off of the game at Georgia against arguably your most historic and most recognizable rival, there's this basketball rivalry that's been brewing now over the last 2+ decades between Florida and Kentucky. I want to get your inside take on the Florida-Kentucky basketball rivalry.
Well, it wasn't a rivalry for half a century until Billy Donovan got here and just reversed the course of basketball at the University of Florida. He was so good, Kentucky tried to hire him 3 times, so they could go up there and get even. Again, he was an assistant coach for Rick Pitino. He redirected everything. Even when Florida was at its best some of those years, they had trouble with Kentucky early on. Now, they won 7 straight in the series, unheard of for the Kentucky people, maybe not so unheard of now in the years since, now that things have gotten a little even up with, NIL and all that stuff. But again, a chance for a win that they haven't had on this floor. They only played once last season for the first time since 1964. They went up SEC opener. Kentucky beat them 106-100. Walter Clayton was spectacular with 33 points. But that was one of those come-to-Jesus kind of moments for the Gators last season, where they had to figure some things out relative to the defensive side. They got a lot better at defense after that.
The one meeting last year, back to a home-and-home this year. The regular season will conclude, of course, in Lexington. 3 o'clock tip-off on Saturday. The game is sold out. It's the first of 2 games coming up at home. South Carolina will be here midweek. Let's see if the Gators can keep it going. Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean.
Gators Insider presented by Talon Wealth. I'm Sean Kelley. We'll see you next time.